It's called VGC for beginners, but I mean, it won't be that basic, don't worry. I'm at least going to assume that anyone who stops by has at least played the game and is really just more looking to kind of close the gap. Been working with a lot of people like privately, so why not just offer it up for everyone? So right now we're in a really weird spot because it's a brand new meta and nobody really knows what we're doing. There's been Limitless almost every day. We've had Reg F tournaments. We haven't actually had an official tournament yet. I think that's next weekend is Portland or the weekend after. But for right now, we can just kind of look here and look at some really basic usage stats is very important because it just kind of like, okay, so right here is Reg E San Antonio. So if I was building a Reg E team, right, I'd be looking at this, a lot of Fluttermane, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Torn, Iron Hands, Arc, we have Gold, we have Heatran, Water Pond. It's a lot of options as far as, like, number one, who you can even use. I mean, like, this is up here for a reason. You can look at win rate. Oh, that's really sad. Rotom just hasn't done it. But I don't like win rate as much because, again, look, really low usage. So even though it has a high win rate, it's a very small sample size. So looking more at like score like this. Yeah, look at like the sample sizes here. And this being 49%. There's our boy Gold, but he's not as relevant right now, which is really sad. I think Heatran's still good. I think everyone dropped Heatran, and I don't know why. Ogerpon has always been good. I think that we're spiking up in uses here for Gambit. But we don't have to look at this. We can look over here and just kind of look at what's going on. So here's usage. This kind of counts, right? Ish. So like basic like Terra type trends as far as what people have been using. If you look down here, there are people using flying. Not a lot of people. It's not really growing. It's not really going in one way or another. A lot of people started off with grass and started off with water, and now we're leaning more towards grass. I think grass is good. I'm surprised that this is not as high fairy. I think it is extremely good defensively on this mon because it just kind of walls a lot of stuff that it might struggle with as a dark type. So like Iron Hands, if I go Fairy Terra, if it's even still like coming at all, that would probably be better than water. I like grass for this guy. I guess you could do dragon. Not a lot of poison, right? So there are some people running Blaze. Don't run Blaze on this mon, there's no point. And if we look here at the moveset, if you're struggling on a moveset, we have Fake Out, we have Flare Blitz, we have Parting Shot, we have Knock Off. That's basically what you're running on this mon. There are other options. So these are standard teammates, and this is not a shock. We have Fluttermane is really good, Urshifu is good, Rillaboom, Torn, Lando, Raging Bolt. I'm not impressed with. Amoonguss is staying right where it always has been, and Wellspring is right about the same right now. A lot of people are using this form, which is really cool, I think. This is my favorite form. So if I was looking to build an Incineroar and I had no idea where to start with, I would just kind of look here, right? So I'll give it this, I'll do Intimidate, I'll look at the chart. So even though water is more popular overall, we're kind of moving into this territory here with grass. So I might smack a grass terror on that. We'll go Citrus Berry because that's most used. We would do these four and maybe smack around some teammates here. We can do that with each mon too. You can look at Fluttermane. It only has one ability. Standings. Yeah, that's not a shock. Items. Specs are really big right now. Booster energy is still really good. And then everything else is just really low. I don't know about Scarf. I would just run booster energy. I guess that's because you want to be able to swap around, but you don't need to with this mon. Alright, so for Terra types, I don't like Stellar whatsoever. And we'll get into why I don't like Stellar, but I just don't think it's very useful right now. Standard moves, right? 1, 2, 3. And then the last move is kind of up for grabs. A lot of Protect, a lot of Icy Winds, Thunderbolt, Power Gems. You can run Trick Room on it. I see Specs Trick Room a lot, and I don't get it, but it's fine. We have Rilla, right? So all these standard mons, standard teammates that we've seen before. So if you're brand new, right, and you kind of understand how the game works, you kind of understand these mons, and you're just looking to like actually start playing, I would come right over here to Victory Road, and we have Scarlet and Violet rental teams for VGC. So if you scroll down, there's not a lot right now because we haven't actually had any real tournaments, but like we have these teams. So I've seen a couple of these are really good. So Walking Wake's on here a ton, right? Obviously, I mean, any one of these is rental codes, and it's okay to just take the rental code and just kind of play it. But if you look at the PokePaste, there's more information, and specifically, if you take the paste and you put the paste into Showdown, you can actually look at the stats now, right? So we come here, I'm on the wrong screen, sorry. Come here. Max HP, 188 is a lot of defense, you don't actually need that much. 28 in speed, 36. Standard set. This is the pinch berry. I've seen people use like weird berries like this one. I guess I understand why, right? Because you're never going to be minus special defense nature, but it's not that relevant right now. This one, and then let's say you were next to Rotom or you like against the Rotom and they swapped items, and now they're going to get confused because they probably have a minus attack nature. So that's normally why we lean that way with these versus just like a general one that never really matters, because that's not often that you're gonna like run into this. But again, it doesn't actually matter right now in this meta. Not relevant. We got this guy. And this is pretty standard. This is almost how I build mine, but not quite. I think it's actually a little slow. I like the speed creep here, and we could talk about speed tiers in a second because that's important too. Standard, right? Steel Terra is really good. Always been really good. I get why people use Ghost. I do. But I don't think you want to blow your Terra like over Fake Out. If you're that concerned, just make it Covert Cloak. Or just kind of play around it. I think with a Rillaboom like this is a slower Rillaboom too. Interesting. This is actually not enough attack in Rillaboom. But that's a different story. And this is a very slow, bulky, just kind of general build. I think this mon's okay. I would say most of the time you're probably not actually going to move first with Incineroar. I don't know why people are running it so fast right now, but they are. I think this is a hair slow. And I think with a Specs build, you don't actually need any special attack investment on this mon, but that's another story too. Okay, so that's resource number 1 is right here. So a really basic starting place if you don't know what to build, if you don't know how to build, and you just want to kind of start playing, just start with a rental team. If it's by Bruno or if it's been featured by Bruno, it's usually pretty darn solid. Let's look at what we have actually had so far with Reg F. So that's not Reg F. So this was, I don't know, Mouse was the name of like the tour, and the winner went 10-1, and this is what they brought. And this is, it's not open team sheet, so I'm sorry, it is open team sheet. So this is all that I have. I don't have their spreads, but I could likely make an educated guess based on what we see here. Rocky Helmet over here on the Torn. If you're running this kind of item, it is pretty much always going to be a very defensive set, because like you're kind of daring them to hit you as many times as possible with a physical move. So I run. What in the world is this team? Where did that come from? I have no idea what just happened. That was crazy. Okay, so this was Steel, I want to say. And standard set, so I'm not going to stress over that. Taunt, I'm sure. All right, so this is what I was trying to do. You get a plus sign there, minus sign there. So anytime that you're using a nature, you're getting a 10% boost into that stat. So if I want to run something like this, and I'm not going to run this is just an example, but if I wanted like to run something like this, and I need to hit 150, but it's a bulky build, and so I'm thinking I'm gonna go bold, right? But I have to hit 150 speed. So we're gonna hit 150 speed. This is 148, and then I use 108 here. So we're hitting 114 and 150 because I'm using my 10% right here, where it's only like a couple points. So we can probably get this up to, I don't remember what it was, like 117 or something. If we're talking about natures, it's a 10% boost. So if I'm sticking it here into defense, I'm hitting 114 and 150. If I know that I want to hit 150, right, I can put the boost in that nature. We can go timid, 150 here. And then if you dump that into defense, it was 114. Now we're hitting 117. I normally split this up like this with this kind of build. I think you can get away with this if you want it to be bulkier. We could do that. Standard build here. So for Citrus Berry, it restores 1/4 max HP. So a lot of people will just kind of do this, right? So if I pull up a calculator, 202 divided by 4, it's not an even number. No, it's 50.5. So that's not good. So what you actually want is any number that's divisible by 4. We're going to go with 200. The whole thing's going to reset because we're having a moment today. It knows that I'm trying to do something. And that way, when I hit the half HP or less mark, I'm getting as much as I can out of my Citrus Berry. The only other thing about that I'm going to say real quick is it does not have to be optimized, but I think if you're going to run the item, you should optimize it. So I was looking before at that one set was running, I think, like 28 in speed. I'm running 44, and this is where we get into like speed creep territory, but most builds are looking at probably only 4 in speed, maybe 12 in speed. And then you can just kind of dump the rest into other stats. I have spread for this guy we can look at later. With the Flutter main, again, we have specs. So this is a rain team. You likely want it to be fast. I usually run something like this. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's very bulky. Modest nature with that much speed investment. And that way, if they happen to set this on, they're just going to make you stronger anyway. And this is speed creeping mons who are looking to outspeed base 100. And so how would you know that? How would you know what speed tiers that you have to look for? So, like Lando is base 101 speed. So if I go modest, max speed, which is what most people are running right now, right? I'm hitting 153. So this is a different number, and I'm going to show you that in 1 second. So if I was base 100, I would be hitting this 152. So let's say you want to run with speed investment, right? Now we're hitting 168. So 1 point faster than Lando at 101 would also mean that we are going to outspeed other base 100 mons. So base 100 mons, if we look here by speed, and this is like the best way to do this. I mean, I have a couple that come to mind, but I also kind of want to show you how I look. So here we go. Not really relevant, right, in the meta. And even if it was in the meta, it's likely moving way first anyway. So other like base 100 mons that are really good, I think Entei is really good. So outspeeding Entei is important. Outspeeding Volcarona, not as important right now. I would say Zapdos, not as important right now. This right here, the Goldfish, is the important one. This is kind of the scary guy. So always outspeeding like this mon. And again, just be careful, this is set to level 100. needs to be set to level 50. If you max him out, right, 152, we know. If we go timid, it would be 167. So now if we come back over here to our flutter main, all the way down here, it's outspeeding him by 2 points, and it would be outspeeding Lando by 1 point. So most people are not going to be running max speed timid Lando. I think that's actually fine. So what do we got? Follow me, spiky shield. This is some max HP build right here. You don't need a lot of speed. You only actually need 156 adamant. And now you're still bonking things hard. This is a very popular team right now that I expect to see at Portland. So Assault Fest here, you literally just click the button on this mon, and you're pretty good to go. That's wrong though. Wait, ew, no. Don't click the button on this mon. I do want a little bit of natural speed, and this 4 has to go here. Because you're running Assault Fest, it's a 1.5 times boost. And so if this is an even number, it's not being rounded down. So this is now 159 is your actual special defense stat. Max HP is pretty much mandatory. It's a very standard set. So we have this guy. I actually really like this team. And honestly, the same with Ogre Pawn, right? Because the embody aspect is basically an Assault Vest, and so it's already an even number. I go 12 here, and it just keeps it an even number that way. Again, this is this 156. This has to hit 137 to be functional, and then I just dumped the rest there. Adamant nature. And I love this build. This build never dies to anything. And if you have to click the button, then you're getting the most out of your boost here as well, which is really important. Let's come over here to Flutter Main. This is Specs, Icy Wind. This is a... Oh, it's not a rain team. Yeah, so this guy wants to be fast. And again, this could literally just be the other build that we had before. What was a 60? Or I want to say this was 132 and 212. Maybe something like that. Specs is a 1.5 boost. So really, if you want to be like optimal, I would probably take it out of here and put it here. I just like knowing that I'm like always going to be faster than Lando I. It's never a question. And me personally, I don't run Dazzling Gleam and Icy Wind. I would run Icy Wind and maybe like probably Thunderbolt for this kind of team. I don't like Ghost Terror on this mon. I'm really happy that they won with it, but I don't like it because now you're just getting knocked off and you're losing to Shadow Ball Flutter Main. It just makes a lot of issues that you don't need, is my thing there, kind of. I wish I could remember these numbers off the top of my head. I think if I can remember the rest of them, I'll be able to fill in defense. Is it 188? It might be 188. And this should be impish. Because we want as much out of that as we can. We don't need that. I think this might have been 12. I think this is 172.12. Or 180. Nope. It's this. This is what I was running. I just remembered. This is based off the Jamie Boyd calcs, because he said you can run 252, 92, but then you're not optimized for your citrus berry because of math. So if you make this 100, it actually works out that you can still get like your properly rounded citrus berry, and then you're still getting the same like defensive calcs. I like grass on this guy a lot. I think grass is really good. You can go ghost and not get hit, I guess, but I don't know. I think if you're gonna go ghost, it's gonna look more like this. So we could leave ghost, because really we're just kind of guessing what this spread most likely was. Most people do this, and because it's a substitute, it takes 1/4, and this time we do actually want it to round down, right? So making it an odd number is fine, and then we know that it will never be divisible by 4, and then you can just smack it in like this. 168. Oh no, I'm sorry, this should be modest. It should be 153, 183, and 153. And that's for substitute. I don't run it this way anymore. You are still actually hitting an odd number with 100 here. I go timid. And hit 154. So let me split up that last point here for a little bit of extra bulk, and there we go. And this is what I would run. I think honestly, even on the substitute set, because now you're like even bulkier, right? It's 177 divided by 4. They're gonna have to round it down. It's not gonna be an even number, and you just get more subs out of it. The only issue is you don't really have like Rillaboom. You don't have any kind of like healed pulse or anything like remotely helping Lando stay alive once it clicks a substitute, but I think it's okay. But this is not what people are running, like straight up. I just think this is better. I would rather outspeed. I think it's gonna be a lot of mirror matches with Lando, and not outspeeding means that you lose. I've literally won because I've gotten the extra like damage off. I'll smack them with the sludge bomb, and they're like hitting, I don't know, earth power, expecting me to, I don't know, it's like strange things. Okay, I don't have a calc for this, but Brady Smith has a calc for this. So these are his calcs. I would trust his calcs. He spent time on this. He knows what it needs to do. Calm nature, because you want the special defense boost. Mist Ball, Draco, Tailwind, Recover. I would run Ice Beam here. I think Ice Beam scares opposing Lando a lot. So this is the standard calculator that probably everyone uses, and if I had to wager, they're likely using it wrong. If I get hard to hear, let me know. I'm kind of like off the mic when I'm facing this way. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna copy this. So if you come here to custom set, I'm gonna import Latias. We'll put Latias here. So only imported sets. Look up Latias as a custom set. Over here I want Lando, regular Lando I, and I want a blank set. All right. So the number one thing that you need to do is make sure that this is doubles on the field and level 50. So most people are running, what do we say, 4, 252, 252, modest nature, ability is sheer force, item is life orb, status is healthy, that's fine, we'll give it moves. We run earth power, sludge bomb, not sludge, sludge bomb. Spelling is hard. And so just looking at this roll, right? If you're up on the field against a Lando, and you never like even click the Terra button, the most damage that it could possibly do. Possibly. So let's hit a crit. Sludge bomb crit. That's the highest roll that you're ever gonna do. And you take about half, and they have to take an ice beam and lose. So my Lando's running 100 here, and I still just lose. So that's good to know, by the way. If they have absolutely no investment, I still lose. That's really funny. So Ice Beam's really strong against Lando, huh? Is kind of the bottom line. I think we knew that already, but that's okay. It's very strong against Lando. And so this is how I would use the calculator. I have a very specific stat distribution. I have a very specific mon in mind that I just I want to look at the interaction, and obviously this is what most people are running. Like, it's 109% low roll. There's nothing that they could do. What if they go, and they're not gonna be Terra Ground, they would be Terra Poison. So what if they Terra? It's never a one shot, but they're also never a one shot, and that's still with the crit boost. I would say, honestly, the thing with swapping is just having the right mon, like, in the back, like, who you can swap into. When I was, like, team building for, Pittsburgh, it really bothered me that, like, I had, like, all these strong mon, and no one to swap into. And that's when I tossed on Iron Hands, I tossed on Heatran, I tossed on Cress. And now, if, like, my main attackers are really pinned, there's nothing I could do, and like I really need them in the end game, I have Iron Hands in the back with Assault Vest. He's gonna come out, he's gonna tank a hit. I got my Crest who can come out and tank a hit, and then can heal everyone with a Lunar Blessing. So if we have gold, I was running leftovers, and I was running Rillaboom. Grassy terrain is the same as leftovers. Numbers that are divisible by 16 are gonna be the best here. So 192, I'm really short, 192. And this number here, 192, not like the EV investment, the actual number. And now your gold is literally getting back 1/8 of its max health every single turn. We were running it like 137, I think was like the slowest. But it really needs to be 146. So that's where Nasty Plot comes in. You go 4, you go 4, you go 36 there. Nasty Plot this guy up. I think at that point you still want Dragon. I don't know about right now in the meta, but at this point you still want a Dragon. Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, and Protect. The speed tier is tough to work with though. I mean, 84, you're not really fast enough. So 146, you're always outspeeding base 80s, which is the point of that number, by the way. So if we were to go here to the right screen, right, so 132 is there. They should be running it timid, should be 145. And so this way we're constantly outspeeding. The next question would be like, how do you enable these mon? And that's where you get everybody's best friend. Right, and Rocky Helmet was really good here for a very long time. I think it's still good. With everyone running Fake Out, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more Clover Cloak right now. But it's fine. You want a Bleak Wind. And you can either taunt or you can protect. This kind of team, what are you missing? You have a grass type, you have a water type. I would say right now, this is kind of the go-to mon. I don't know if it's necessary. And again, I like Grass Terra. This move is mandatory. Absolutely mandatory. Fake Out is mandatory. I wouldn't say this is as mandatory, but it's pretty darn close. It could be Wisp on a rain team like this, but I would stick with Flare Blitz for the immediate use. Parting Shot, it also gets U-turn. It depends on how you want to run it. Why wouldn't you just run Parting Shot? I don't know. And then the last slot again is up for grabs. It's a lot of really cool options. Darkest Lariat's really not bad. You get Knockoff, you get Throat Chop. You get Helping Hand now, that's kind of cool. I would probably run Helping Hand over Flare Blitz. I think I would run Knock probably all the time. And we talked about this spread already, right? So we'll go Flutter. I'm actually gonna go Booster, I think. Oh, Booster Speed. 132. And this is also a timid build. So I literally just took the top 6 mana and made a team. And you can do that. I mean, they're the top 6 mon for a reason. But you really get into a lot of like getting outplayed territory at that point. It's kind of my only thing. So this is that extremely standard team that we looked at before. Remember? That one? If we go here to team builder, go to Reg F, that's this team right here, most likely. So I'm really guessing on the spreads, but most likely this is pretty much the same thing. And we can just look. Yep. So Ice Beam here, right? I talked about that as being good. They are running sub life orb. They're running black glasses on Gambit, so they're not actually running the other move. But that means I have to worry here a little bit. There's the Agua Berry, we talked about that as well. Why that really doesn't matter. And there's your Wellspring Mask. So against this kind of team, I'm expecting they should lead Fake Out. And probably Latias. Or Latias Gambit would also be good, but not as strong as Latias Redirection, Latias Fake Out. So we can bring Torn, and we can bring Flutter, we'll bring Urshifu, and we'll bring Lando. And I know that I was running out of time, but I want to make sure that I can explain things. Okay, and there's exactly, well, not exactly the lead, but more or less the lead that we were expecting, right? Because there's the Fake Out, and the Fake Out's going to hit my Torn. That's fine, they could do that. Latias is Electric Terra, so it is probably going to click the Terra button right now. I'm just going to Icy Wind. It does. They Fake Out Torn, they get a little bit of chip there. So all this is fine. I'm still faster. It doesn't matter. They should not Ice Beam. They should Tailwind. They do. They also have Recover, Mist Ball, Ice Beam. So there's no reason to stop them from doing anything, I don't think. And I honestly think I'm still faster. I might still be faster. So Rain Dance is okay here, especially now that the Latias is within Urshifu range. I think Rain Dance, Icy Wind is really solid here. You can't hit me with a Fake Out. I'm sorry. You can't hit me with Knockoff into that slot. You can Parting Shot me. Yeah, that's fine. And I don't care about my speed boost as much anymore. So if I need to swap there, I can swap there because we're already in really good shape. And yeah, here comes his Flutter. So now I Tailwind. And I still have the speed boost, and they don't, but that's specs, right? So I'm gonna Icy Wind again. And that way, yes, I am gonna have Tailwind, and I am gonna move first. That actually does not matter. They thought I was gonna swap, I think. Or they realized that I was gonna speed drop. All this is so fine. So now Urshifu is gonna come out. But that's what they want, so let me waste their Tailwind. I'm going to Protect, and I'm going to Urshifu now. And the reason why we do this is we don't really have to respect what they're going to do. They should hit Lando with a Fake Out and Ice Beam regardless, because they're very afraid of that mon, which is exactly what they do. So that's super fine. So now they don't have Tailwind. I hit that spot, like there's no reason not to, and we just get rid of that unless they have Ogerpon in the back right now. I think if they're swapping Ogerpon though, it's probably for the Incineroar, so let's find out. They might not have it as well. Yeah, Rocky Helmet's okay. We have the Rain Up, we have all our modifiers, we're very good to go. There's the Flutter Mane that we always outspeed, and the Lando that we also always outspeed. So because that's specs, actually going to hit that slot and strikes the Lando. I should have been punished for that a lot harder. That was a little bit of a misplay. If I had taken out the Lando, I'm sorry. If I had taken out the Flutter Mane, I was always faster than the Lando, and I didn't have to worry about it. So my Lando's gonna take... not gonna take it well. So the best I could do here is like a Protect Aqua Jet. Is that a crit? I got very lucky. I got extremely lucky in that endgame. It did not... there was no reason for it to ever go that well. Okay, so that was a relatively standard lead from them, and it worked out. I think they have to bring Ogrepon in this game knowing what happened. So... I don't know if they want the Incineroar. I don't think it really helped them at all. You have to bring Gambit this game. You have to bring Ogrepon this game. And probably whoever's up in front with their own Tailwind. So we have some options here. I don't want to bring Urshifu this game. I don't think it's right. Oh, this is still Stomping Tantrum. I forgot to go back to U-turn. So that is a bit of a problem for me right now. I think I still Torn Flutter. It's not so easy for them to stop. I'm gonna go Rillaboom in the back and Lando. Alright, so everyone made adjustments, which is very fine. Their Gambit should be trying to hit me for like my whole life force right now. And really what we do here is I'm going to Rillaboom. I'm going to... Moonblast is risky, but I'm going to do it anyway. And the reason why it's risky is if I get a special attack drop, I'm going to give them the Defiant boost. That's why it's risky. That's why it's risky. Oh, crap. Okay. So, I'm in rough shape. I'm gonna fake out. Jesus, I'm really screwed here. Switch for Torn. He protects. He double protects. Double protect is fine. He wanted to see what I was gonna do. Going to... I'm never faster than Lando. I'm in a lot of trouble here this game. There's no reason to Terra here literally ever. So kind of the best I could do at this point is really just set the Tailwind. I don't think I should have brought Torrent. Yeah, that he's just gonna sweep my team from there. And I'm not gonna let him do that. So that's game 3. Okay, so stopping the King Gambit is so extremely important, and I was unable to actually successfully do that last time, and that's what the issue was. So I understand bringing Torrent up front. I don't think it's necessary. I think I have to respect that slot a lot more now. I can go double Genie lead. If I had my other team, I would be so much more comfortable with this right now, but it's alright. I'm just kind of looking to show how this would typically go. I think Lando Rilla is still fine. Yeah, they had no reason to make any adjustment that time. I dipped so fast. A little scary here. I do have to think hard about what I'm about to do. If I Bleak Wind and I get the speed drop, I'm so screwed. It's not even funny. I think I Rain Dance. And I think I just Earth Power. He should protect this slot, I think, right? Or fake out that slot. He does. But at least here we get to like actually apply a little bit of pressure. So we're going to fake out Gambit and Earth Power the Incineroar. I'm just really thinking, like, how much more useful this would have been with my other team. Oh, he doesn't protect that slot. And he switched for Lando. Damn, dude, I can't win. We're in rough shape. I'll have to Earth Power the Gambit slot. If I doubled that slot, but they should have protected. They had no reason not to protect. They're gonna protect. No, they don't protect. He just kowtows me. He didn't want to play the game. That's fair. Alright. Lando has to go. Has to go. I still think Ogerpon is back there somewhere. I just Aqua Jet that slot. I'm never actually that afraid. It did how much to me? It did 54%. So I need to actually recover one more round of grassy terrain. And there's the Incineroar. So that works out, actually, doesn't it? That's Rain Dance and Protect. And I do want to stay on the field for this. So yeah, that's a little bit of an issue, but I think I can deal with it right now, right? We have rain and we have tailwind, so I bleak wind, and I don't actually think I have Water Terra. I just Aqua Jet, I think. Ooh. Okay, that's fine though. Speed drop there wouldn't matter on the Gambit at this point. He does knock off, and that's okay too. That's why I waited. I think if he can swap, he does now. I'm gonna swap myself, because now Rillaboom just comes back, and then we get rid of Gambit. If he stays, then he Sucker Punches. Nice. Parting shot on the Torn. Into Flutter. Very nice, very nice. So I lose Tailwind here. But it super doesn't matter. Because now I just literally hit the Tailwind button. And I already clicked Fake Out, correct? Go Rillaboom. First if you come back. No, I did not. Okay. I like to double check these things because you never know. I don't think that mattered whatsoever, but that's fine. So the issue here is always the Flutter main. We always get rid of Flutter first, and we just Stomping Tantrum the Incineroar. That's okay. It can Parting Shot, it can knock off. Yeah, you already knocked that slot off. Super doesn't matter. I'm gonna take the Surging Strikes boost here just because I can, and we'll Stomping Tantrum one more time, just to clean things up. Alright, so even though game 2 was really bad, like, we came back from that very well that game. Let's watch back a little bit, and we can talk about what worked, what did not work. I kind of overread, underread. Is this the one that I dipped immediately? No, this was game 1. So I think game 1 was really standard, right? It was only 7 turns, not a big deal. This one kind of dragged on a little bit, so let's see why. Alright, so we knew they had the same lead. I think this is okay. I switch here. I knew I was getting the fake out into Lando, but I still was attempting to hit the Gambit slot anyway. I think that was fine. I think it was this turn here when I hit the Gambit with a fake out. I think there was no reason, like honestly, even a nasty plot right there, that that turn would have been very safe. So safe. Ended up losing Lando very early. It worked out though, I think, because now Urshifu comes out and he's just in major trouble. So yeah, you're +2, but I kept my fighting typing, like, specifically because it would have killed me otherwise. As bulky as this is, it did not matter in that case. So here comes Ian Sin. I think I was expecting a fake out, which he does fake out. Not that it mattered. I needed my health back because that was a roll, remember? The Aqua Jet there, if I was not -1 and I had actually terrored, I probably would have gotten the knockout. He's kind of the only thing there. So high horsepower worked out on Rillaboom more than it really had any right to. I think normally you do want to keep U-turn on that Mon, only because it's like slow and just like incredibly bulky, and that way that Mon is going to take the big hit. It's going to get to U-turn off after the stat drop or whatever, and then Urshifu comes out, and then like your Flutter Mane comes out. But not having like that pivot Mon like that, that makes it like way too hard of knowing even when to switch, because it's like now I have to sack someone, and who's getting sacked? And it better not be the most important Mon that I have, or like I'm gonna lose the game. I think that's where most people go wrong, honestly. This game, if I let Urshifu go down, I lost this game. And I think a lot of people would have just kept it on the board way too long, and it wouldn't have ended so well. It was that second game was not good. That second game, like, if it could have gone wrong, it went wrong, which was just not good. Yeah, right here. And I literally said that the Moonblast was possible of doing that. I could have hit the other Mon, but yeah, no. And then this happened. There was nothing I could do. He was always taking Rillaboom. I think a swap here into Rillaboom to recycle the fake out into the Gambit would have been like my best bet, but after Rillaboom took that much damage, I knew that I did not stand a chance. Yeah, you gotta be careful about that move. I think my main team has Gambit on it right now, and I love when they run Icy Wind because I'll just run a Gambit in the back. It's not up front, and they think it's not there. Speed drop on my King Gambit. Thanks, buddy. That's a free Swords Dance. And I did nothing. I did not even deserve it. Alright, so super standard, right? It does exactly what it says it does. I don't know if I love this spread. It does okay. It's okay. You get booster speed is really all that matters. You get a Rillaboom. You might want U-turn. I think Stomping Tantrum just kind of worked out. Might honestly work out more, but most of the time, if you're gonna hit it with Stomping Tantrum, you can just smack it with a U-turn, and then you have Urshifu in the back. It's very standard, but it is still good, I think.